Someone's having a lot of fun on their motorcycle. Have a good ride, dude. Hey guys, it's Tiffany. What is freaking up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am answering all of your guys' awkward questions. So a lot of you guys asked me a bunch of questions on Instagram. I'm gonna answer as many as I can, and hopefully these are helpful for you guys. And I luckily grew up with two older sisters who were not shy and did not disappoint when it came to answering all the questions I had for them. So I just want you guys to look at me as your sister who's gonna help you with all of your problems that you're having in today's life. I was actually inspired to make this video because of my friend Lauren. She made a video where she kind of talked about real things that were pertaining to women, and I figured I would just do my little own spin on it. And yeah, if you guys want to ask me more questions down below, I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. I just wanted to film this video while I was getting ready and doing my makeup. I always FaceTime my sisters while I'm doing my makeup, and I just want you guys to feel like you guys are FaceTiming me. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe if you guys want more A+ content from me. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Let's go. First question I got asked is, when did you start using birth control, and what type of birth control are you currently using? I feel like you guys are gonna be shocked when I tell you guys what birth control I'm actually currently using right now. I'm actually using Natural Cycles, and fun fact, they are sponsoring today's video, which is actually insane. But before we talk about Natural Cycles, I kind of want to talk to you guys about my history of birth control. I have been using birth control since I was about 16 years old. I did not tell my parents I was on birth control, and legally your doctors are not allowed to tell your parents if you are on birth control. So I originally started off with the pill. I think I was on the pill for 3 years, and I noticed it would make me really moody. I also gained 10 pounds while being on birth control. I also hated the fact that my birth control pills that they had given me would give me my periods for 3 weeks straight. 3 weeks. I was spending 75% of my life on a period, and so when I was in college, one of my sorority sisters told me about Nexplanon. Nexplanon is an arm implant you put in your arm. It lasts for 3 years straight. She said one of her side effects that she had while on Nexplanon was that she didn't have a period. And I was like, hell yeah, I would love to try that out. I was looking for any other alternatives. I've had the arm implant for 7 years, and I only had a period 4 times the entire time in those 7 years. And I'm sure it's actually safe not to have your periods. It's just something I'm worried about. This year, my Nexplanon actually expired. It expired 2 months ago, and now I'm actually on Natural Cycles. It's actually the only FDA cleared birth control app. It's pretty much birth control without any chemicals. I feel like all of us girls have grown up believing that we needed to pump our body with hormones for us to prevent pregnancy, and I've actually realized that that is not true. I actually learned about non-hormonal birth control through Lauren. When your body releases an egg, your resting body temperature will actually raise. So every single morning I take my temperature and I just take it, and then I input that information into the Natural Cycle app. It has an algorithm within the app, and it'll tell you if you are fertile that day or non-fertile. So if you're not fertile, it'll give you a green light so you can have sex, you can do whatever you want, or it'll give you a red light being like, do not have sex today or you might possibly get pregnant. You can't just get any regular thermometer. You actually have to use a thermometer with 2 decimal points because that's how sensitive your basal body temperature is. So I was a little worried about how effective going on a non-hormonal birth control would be, and fun fact, there is no such thing as 100% birth control. If you use Natural Cycles perfectly, it is actually 98% effective, and with typical use, it's actually 93% effective. Also, because you know when you're fertile on the app, you can also plan a pregnancy. So yeah, if you guys want to use the app and learn more about it, I'll have a link for you guys down below. You guys can also use my coupon code for 20% off your entire year subscription, and you guys can also get a free thermometer. Also, just an FYI, using Natural Cycles will not prevent STIs, and you also have to be 18 and over to use the app. So the next question I got asked a lot was about shaving. Literally, I'm not kidding, you guys went crazy on this question. So many of you guys were asking me questions about if I wax or do I shave, and I know that is a question I personally had to ask my sister when I was growing up because I had no idea. There are so many options. I personally like to shave. I'm actually allergic to wax, and it was not fun the first time I found out I was allergic to wax. My skin literally bubbled up. That was not a pretty sight at all. It's fun to change it up once in a while. I think trimming is a lot easier. And the best way to prevent razor bumps is if you are gonna do a full-on shave, like a nice little Brazilian, you wanna make sure the razor you're using is brand new. I always make sure it's a nice fresh razor so it cuts the hair as nice as possible. And then after I shave it, I actually like to apply some sort of lotion to it because it can feel really dry and itchy after you shave it. I also like to exfoliate it down there, so I just use like a body scrub. That's kind of how I like to shave. I accidentally put too much blush on this side. The next question I got asked a lot was about tampons. A lot of you guys asked me if I prefer tampons or pads. I wish my sisters growing up told me more about tampons. I was just too shy to ask. I personally, when I started having my periods, preferred pads, and that is because I did not know how to insert a tampon. It is definitely not an easy task the first time you do it, so I just didn't want to bother with it. I think the first time I used a tampon was when I was in like 9th grade, and my friends literally had to be on the other side of the bathroom telling me exactly what to do, and I was still so freaking confused. So I personally prefer pads. I'm gonna say it. Tampons are definitely way more convenient because you don't have to wrap a diaper around your underwear, but the amount of times I've accidentally leaked because of my tampon is crazy. Sometimes I will literally do both. I will put not only a tampon in, but a pad as well underneath just in case, or I'll just use like a little panty liner. I mean, when I was in college before Next went on, I was definitely using tampons with panty liners all the time. That was like my go-to. I would just go the safe route and do both at the same exact time. Super unnecessary, but just in case you leak. So this next question I also got asked a lot, and I figured I would just address it because I did tell you guys to ask me every question you guys have ever wanted to ask me, no matter how awkward it is. I think it's time to finally just like put the nail in the coffin. And the question I got asked was, do you still talk with your ex? No, John and I do not talk anymore. The last time we talked actually was maybe 2 months ago, and it was like a brief conversation about Zoe, and he was actually moving out of LA. But before that, we hadn't talked for 2 years straight. And then another person asked me, why did John and I break up? How do I go about saying this? I feel like the feelings were no longer mutual. I no longer saw the future in our relationship, and I felt like it was time to let go. He just wasn't the one for me. Also, we had very different viewpoints on prenups and finances, and for me, that just didn't make sense as well. If we were already bickering about finances, then I just felt like that wasn't gonna be healthy in the future. And Matt and I now have like such a healthy relationship talking about finances. I feel a lot better talking about finances with Matthew than I've ever felt with my ex. And I just think that just says wonders about the person Matthew is. So yeah, we just had very different viewpoints on our future and our finances and prenups and things like that. And I just felt like in the long run, if you're already having issues about this type of stuff and we couldn't really see eye to eye, and being scared to talk about it was not healthy. Also, I'll link all the products I'm using down below because I'm sure you guys are going to ask. Okay, next question I got asked is, has there ever been any tea in the Asian Girl Squad? And what am I trying to say here? Asian Girl Squad is still going very, very freaking strong. But like any friend group, you don't always see eye to eye with everyone. Sometimes we have little tips with each other, but I will say out of any friend group I've ever had, we have the most honest, healthy conversations with one another. I remember I felt a type of way about something that had happened, and I went straight to that person, told them about it, they told me their feelings about it, and we literally resolved it that same day. And me being the immature, non-confrontational person I was 5 years ago, I could never imagine having those conversations with any of my friends. We've all matured together, and we've been friends for so long now. I feel like we've been friends for at least 4 years. We just have an amazing understanding with one another. We have the most adult-like conversations if we do have problems with one another. None of us have ever been passive aggressive with one another, but I feel like it's very normal as best of friends to have little moments of frustration. It's never lasted more than literally 24 hours with one another. I think it's really hard to stay best friends with people if you can't communicate with them, because I feel like with any relationship, communication is the biggest key. When did you lose your V card? I lost my V card in high school. Everyone's ready at a different moment. You have to just have a conversation with yourself about that. I honestly do not think you need to have conversations with your parents about when you can or should lose your V card because it is a personal decision. I think what happens to your body is your choice, no matter how old or young you are. But I do think it is very important to understand the repercussions of having sex, which is you might possibly get a STI if you're not careful. You might also possibly get pregnant if you're not careful. So another question I got asked is, have you ever considered plastic surgery? If I'm gonna be honest, yes. I feel like the society we grow up in today, I have definitely considered having plastic surgery, but I'm full aware I don't need plastic surgery. I used to think I wanted a boob job when I was a kid, but I'm learning to love my body. I'm learning to love my small boobs. If you've ever hung out with Asian aunties and uncles, they are completely honest with you. They will completely rip you apart. They would either tell me, oh, Tiffany, you've gained a little weight in recent months. Oh my God, Tiffany, you used to be such an ugly child. What happened? I literally had at one point, my entire family believe I got a nose job because when I was in college, I think my nose formed a little bit and I also did my makeup differently with my nose. My grandma started tea. My grandma told my entire family I got a nose job. My mom had to call me being like, so when did you get this nose job? And I'm like, Mom, I've never gotten a nose job. My aunties have had boob jobs. My aunties have had plastic surgery. I feel like plastic surgery in Asia is definitely a lot more normal than it is in America. Luckily, I've never had plastic surgery. I feel like I do have very attractive features. I have thought about getting an eye lift just because I have hooded eyelids. They take a little bit of your fat deposits in your eye because I do have very heavy eyelids. I can feel them throughout the night. I can feel them when I'm pinching them and they do not feel like Matthew's or any of my other friends' eyelids. They feel a lot thicker. That is like the only plastic surgery I personally would consider right now, but I'm not gonna take anything off the books. Maybe I'll want a tummy tuck. I think if you have the money to do it and it's gonna help with your self-confidence, who the fuck cares? Literally. Who the fuck cares? It is not your body, it is my body. I will say the only thing I do not think is healthy is going into debt for plastic surgery. If you have to take a $15,000 loan to get plastic surgery done, I just don't think it's worth it. That's just gonna add more stress to your life. All right, the next few questions I got asked is about the down there area as well. I got a lot of questions about this, which I'm actually really surprised about, but it makes a lot of sense because this is not something you learn in sex education. And the question is how to clean up after sex. So right after you're having sex, Matt will either give me a paper towel or I'll grab something and just like wipe myself down there. And then I'll go to the bathroom, pee everything out, wipe everything, then wash her just with soap and water. Nothing crazy. Sometimes I'll use a baby wipe depending on the day, but I think it is very important to clean yourself after sex or like maybe a couple hours after sex. There is a big possibility you might get a UTI. If you guys have never had a UTI before, you are so lucky because it is literally the worst feeling. Another question I got asked is how to properly take care of your vagina so it doesn't smell bad. Girl, totally get it. I hate that there is this stigma that girls' vaginas smell like fish, like fishy smell. Hello? Have you guys ever smelled a guy's armpit? That's a lot easier to clean, boy. So the way I like to take care of my vagina is I like to change my underwear every day. I also realize that when I'm wearing cotton undies, I feel a lot healthier down there. I feel like vaginas like certain types of underwear, and that underwear is pure 100% cotton underwear, okay? It's breathable, it's not like lacy or sticky, and it doesn't aggravate anything. P.S. if your vagina gets aggravated by your underwear, it will darken in color a little bit. I also do like to use a feminine wash. Hear me out here, because you're not supposed to use a feminine wash down there. I like to use a feminine wash by Raelle, and I'll like put a photo of it right here. I love this stuff. It's foamy. I don't like to apply my feminine washes between my lips, if that makes sense. I only apply it to the outer areas. You can also just use soap and water as well. And I also wash my vagina every single time I poop. And I also like to wash my butt. You just never know, especially if you're in a relationship, when sex is gonna happen. And that is how I personally keep myself nice and clean. I'm actually gonna do my eyebrows right now. I'm using the Benefit microfilling pen. This is a really cool pen because it has 3 little prongs. Can you guys see this? This next question I got asked was, have you converted to thongs after your Fenty video? I have not converted to thongs after the Fenty video, but I will say filming my Fenty video, I realized that thongs are a lot more comfortable than I ever realized realize they were. I just naturally gravitate towards my grandma undies that look like boxer briefs, but I'm not gonna lie, it all gets taken off. Like, it all gets taken off. If you feel like you have to wear thongs because it makes you look sexy for your significant other, just realize the sexiest you'll ever look is completely naked. Okay, what's your number one piece of advice on love and dating? My number one piece of advice is trust is everything. Communication is key. That is all you need to know. If you can't communicate with your significant other, it's not gonna work. And if you guys don't trust each other, it's not gonna work. If you guys have communication problems, that is something both of you guys can work on, but you can't work on having trust for someone. You can earn someone's trust, but once you lose someone's trust, it is so hard to earn it back. So don't ever do anything stupid. Like, it's just never gonna be the same. Do you guys see Cardi B? She gave Offset so many chances and now they're getting a fat freaking divorce, and I hope she gets all the money. Next question I got asked by some of you guys is discharge normal? Yes, girl, discharge is normal. I remember the first time I had discharge, I was like, what is happening to my body? Why do my undies look like this? Discharge is very, very healthy. Currently, I'm using the James Charles palette. I'm just using this light brown matte color and I'm just contouring my eyes with that. I like to put my finger right here and just create kind of like a cat eye with that color and bring it in to my eye sockets. And it just gives me that like fox eye Bella Hadid look that everyone's kind of obsessed with right now. But yeah, discharge is very, very normal. It really depends on what cycle you are throughout the month. If you have just ovulated, if you're done ovulating, fertile at the moment, if you're not fertile, if you're horny, if you're not horny. Oh my God, this next question is an amazing question. The question is, before having sex, should I be tested for STDs? Hell the freak yes. You need to be tested all the time. Every single time I've been in a relationship, I've gotten tested before I started. One, that's just like a healthy thing to do. Two, you will know for sure if someone has cheated on you. You just know it's not your fault. I just want to know it's not my fault. I actually had a friend in high school who got an STD because their boyfriend cheated on them. And so ever since then, it scarred me because I was like, I'm gonna make sure I get tested. I did get tested before Matthew and I started dating. I got tested before my ex and I started dating. People are shady, let's be honest. Having the conversation with someone being like, hey, just letting you know I have an STD gets so uncomfortable. Most likely, someone who gets tested for an STD and is positive is not gonna go calling back a bunch of exes telling them they have an STD. They're probably gonna be blaming you for their STD. So I think it's really important to take your health into your own hands. Should I feel more sentimental about losing my virginity? Because I don't. Girl, I totally get it. I honestly feel like it's the age you lose your virginity at. I lost mine in high school, so I was a little sentimental about it, but I feel like when people lose it around like 21, 22, when they're in college, you're not really sentimental about it. Even if you're like 15 and you don't feel sentimental about it, don't feel a type of way. I think it's so unfair that society tells girls we have to feel sentimental about it. I hate the fact that it's called losing your virginity. Why is it that men are gaining their manlyhood, but for girls, we are losing something? That is a complete BS, double standard. I think that is so not fair. You're not losing anything. You are gaining something. You are gaining your womanhood. You are becoming a woman. Do you think bunny rabbits feel a certain way about losing their virginities? Hell the freak no. So I think it's totally normal not to feel a type of way about it. How do you handle being told you're too skinny or you should eat more? I'm currently struggling. I would just like to apologize. I'm so sorry people are saying that to you. That honestly sucks. In reality, I don't think people realize that everyone has different body types. Everyone's beauty standards are so different. I am full on Asian. Physiologically, we're just smaller people. There's no denying that. There are some freaks of nature like Yao Ming, like the tallest basketball player ever, but for the most of us, we're just small physiologically. So when people put standards on me that are American standards, even American standards aren't the standards that were the case 30 years ago. 30 years ago, obesity really wasn't a problem. I think every culture's standard of beauty is so different. I feel like in Latin America, like big butts and big boobs are very, very attractive versus in China, that is not attractive. Just like in Asia, thin lips is very attractive. In America, thick, luscious lips are very attractive. It just really depends on your society's beauty standards. I think it's something you should only struggle with if it's something you actually want to change. And I don't think you should change for anyone else but yourself. I pretty much did all of my makeup, minus my eyelashes. But before I do that, I just like to apply some all-nighter setting spray from Urban Decay. Okay, next question. Someone's having a lot of fun on their motorcycle. Have a good ride, dude. Your first kiss, how was it? First kiss, not memorable at all. I don't think anyone's first kiss is memorable unless it's like that bad. But my first kiss, I think, was probably at my house, and I think it was like spin the bottle when I was in 5th grade, but it was probably very awkward. I probably would not want to relive that moment ever again. Nothing special. And if you have an awkward first kiss, just remember that it's probably awkward for the other person as well. So don't even think about it. The next question I got asked was, would you have sex with someone of the same sex? No, I am very comfortable with my sexuality. I know that I am a straight cis female, but I will also say that sexuality and attractiveness is fluid. I'm attracted to women in the sense that I find them very attractive. Like Madison Beer to me is the most gorgeous woman ever, and if she wanted to make out with me, I will not turn her down at all. Like, hell yeah, I will make out with you, girl. But I don't think having sex with a female is something I would like to do. It's not something I've ever been curious about. Oh, another sexuality question. Wow. How to find your own sexuality. I'm really confused about my sexuality. Sexuality is something you have to figure out on your own, and it happens with time. Some people know their sexuality right away, and some people are figuring it out just like you are, and I think that's okay. I also think there is a spectrum. I think some people can be just for women, just for men, for both men and women, or you can be sexually attracted to men but have emotional feelings towards women, or you can not be sexually attracted to literally anybody and you can be asexual, you can be pansexual, you can be queer, bisexual, straight up gay, whatever. I honestly think it's just something you have to figure out on your own, and there's no one that can tell you you're straight or you're gay or you're bi. I hate when people tell bi people that they're just gay but they're too uncomfortable saying that they're gay, because I do genuinely believe that there are people out there who are actually on the spectrum and are towards the middle. And I also think it's totally normal to question your sexuality, especially if it's not what society says is okay. The next question I got asked is, how do I handle negativity? I handle negativity very well as an adult because I was not raised in the best conditions as a child. That is something I can go into on a separate video. I was bullied quite a bit by people who should not be bullying me when I was a child, and it just gave me thicker skin. And I've also realized, being on YouTube for 10 years now, that hurt people hurt people. That is the cheesiest thing I will ever say in the entire world, but it is so true. I've realized I'm a person that actually doesn't talk a lot of shit about people. There are very, very few people I talk shit about, if at all. If at all. This is a conversation Matthew and I had recently where he was like, you don't really talk shit about people. And I was like, I know. I honestly think it's because I feel good about myself. I am happy with my body. I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with who I am as a person. And when you're happy with yourself, you don't really bring other people down. I'm a pretty proud person. I will admit that. I'm proud. I am stubborn. I am confident. I am independent, which means that if I have a problem with someone, I will never be vulnerable enough to let someone else know that they bother me. Like, if someone bothered me, I would never let them know that. I would pretend they don't bother me. And the best way to pretend that someone doesn't bother you is by not talking about them at all. Don't give them the time of the day. So I find it very weird when people take the time out of their day to write a hate comment. So when I get hate comments, I just think they're not doing well as people. I think there is a difference between criticism and literally straight up hate comments. And I think at the end of the day, if you're the type of person that is okay with writing up something on the internet, posting it that's negative about someone, you are just dealing with your own demons. If I'm happy, I don't let things that don't matter bother me. There are days that are a little bit rougher than others, but in general, I'm a positive person and I don't complain, I don't victimize myself. So the best comeback you can tell someone when they're being negative to you is to say, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Because I feel like if you're being so negative, there's something wrong. And that pisses the other person off so much. Like, could you imagine if someone asked you if you're okay and you didn't like them? And they're like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay at home? How are you feeling today? If you're like overly nice to them, but kind of in like a condescending tone because you also know that they're dealing with stuff, it's literally the best comeback. You are gonna feel so good about being so nice to someone who's mean to you because it is not what they are expecting from you at all. Okay, next question I got asked is how to love yourself more. Working out has helped a lot, and I don't do it to look better. I do it because Working out releases a bunch of feel-good chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, and that helps yourself feel good about yourself mentally. And when you feel good about yourself mentally, then you're gonna feel good about yourself physically. You're gonna feel good about everything else in your life. I like to work out. I also like to have little words of affirmation. I can literally do a whole-on video about this. Avoiding drama is a good way to feel good about yourself as well. Not partaking in negativity, another great way to feel good about yourself. I think I had a booger in my nose this entire time I was filming, and I hope you guys did not see it. Speaking of mental health, the next question I got asked is, how's your mental health lately? You seem sad. That is so interesting. I feel like I don't seem sad. Maybe I am a little more sad than normal because I feel like I used to just act very, very happy on camera. I used to be a lot more chipper on camera, and I feel like that's not my real personality. Like I've mentioned in a video before, everyone turns up their personality like 50%, 25% for the camera. And I'm trying to film my videos where I'm more real with you guys, where I'm not overacting or overly happy, because I feel like when I do that, I get so drained after I film a video, and it just feels so unnatural to me, and I feel like it's kind of embarrassing. Like I watch back on these videos where I act too happy and I'm just embarrassed by them. I need to grab my lipstick. I'll be right back. All right, I got my lipstick. It was in my backpack. So I also feel like with the pandemic going on, it's like hard to be as happy as I probably was maybe last year. I feel like it's so hard on your mental health to be stuck at home and feeling like you're not allowed to do things that are normal. I feel like that's natural, but overall, mentally, I'm okay. And I'd actually like to ask that question to you guys. How is your mental health right now? Like, how are you guys dealing with the whole pandemic that's going on? P.S. This is my favorite lipstick I like to use. This is the Really Rose Matte Liquid Lip from Pixie. It's literally my lip color, but like better. Wow, perfect timing, because that was literally the last question I got asked. That is it with my freaking makeup, guys. Wow, I did all my makeup and I have nothing to do now other than I just look very, very cute. So here is the full makeup look. Again, the eyelashes are definitely a little crazier than I would normally go for. These are the only eyelashes I currently have on hand, so they are not normally what I like to use. But yeah, that is it with today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys made it to the end of the video, comment down below how you guys are doing today. Are you guys happy? Are you guys sad? Are you guys excited for something that's happening today? I will say I am feeling a little stressed out because I need to do a bunch of stuff for work. I actually have an employee starting this week, so I need to do a bunch of stuff for her as well. So I'm feeling a little bit stressed. If you guys haven't already, go subscribe if you guys are new, and if you guys haven't already, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at MissTiffanyMa, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Bye.
Hey, you the best part of every single day. Ooh, no matter what I do, I'll be lost in you.